Dear viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum. I've introduced this segment to address critical questions that may be of interest to mankind. The written contents of these videos are available on my website koranwisdom.com in Q&A section. Each video will be short and focused on a specific question only. Today's question is mortgage forbidden in Islam? Well, many people believe that mortgage has an element of riba in it. Therefore, it is forbidden in Islam. However, a critical study of the glorious Quran and a proper understanding of the concept of mortgage refutes all such assertions. It may be understood that the glorious Quran has forbidden riba in case of personal loans that may be required by a poor person. Instead, God commands that such a personal loan may be waived if possible. The glorious Quran also commands that in a trading relationship, riba must be excluded. To understand the application and relevance of riba in a mortgage transaction, we need to comprehend the concepts of riba and mortgage. Let us first examine the meaning of riba and its elements as they are ordained in the glorious Quran. Chapter 3, verse 130 reads, "You who believe, do not consume riba, doubled and redoubled. Be mindful of God so that you may prosper." Let me remind that this is the only verse in the entire glorious Quran that defines riba. It states that riba is any monetary transaction that results in doubling and redoubling of one's wealth at the expense of the other party. Therefore, any monetary transaction that is exploitative in nature and that unjustly benefits one party at the expense of the other party may have an element of riba in it, and it is strictly prohibited in Islam. Similarly, the glorious Quran in chapter 4, verse 29 commands that believers should not wrongfully consume each other's wealth. Rather, they should trade by mutual consent. It reads, "You who believe, do not wrongfully consume each other's wealth, but trade by mutual consent." This verse emphasizes the fact that believers must not wrongfully consume each other's wealth, such as through riba and any other manipulative means. Instead, they must trade with mutual consent and free bargaining power. The core message proclaimed in these two verses may be summed up in the following words. Riba is an exploitative financial transaction that creates undue wealth for one party at the expense of the other party. Riba is a great sin, and believers must avoid practice of riba in all types of trading and financial transactions. Now, let us examine the concept and practice of mortgage and see if riba can be present in this type of financial transaction. A mortgage is a debt instrument specific to the real estate industry. It is secured by the collateral of a real estate property. The borrower is obligated to pay back the loan over time. Mortgages make it easier to purchase large real estate properties without having to pay a large purchase price upfront. The borrower instead gets the opportunity to repay the loan over time in periodic installments in addition to interest payments. After paying back the loan, the borrower becomes the owner of the property free and clear. However, if during the tenure of the mortgage, the borrower wants to sell the property, he can do so by paying the outstanding amount of loan to the bank and may keep the balance as his equity. Thus, mortgages provide a flexible way of creating wealth for the borrower and the lender. Mortgage banks provide loans to clients purchasing real estate properties, usually charging annual interest between 3 and 5%. This interest is not riba, and it is meant to serve two purposes. Firstly, it provides a recurrent source of income for the banking business during the tenure of the mortgage. Secondly, it also compensates the bank against erosion in the purchasing power of the loan money received by the bank due to inflation. Over a period, even when the price of the property increases, the outstanding amount of loan keeps on diminishing with each payment of loan installment. Therefore, it is a win-win situation for both the borrower and the lender. The borrower benefits from increase in his property value, while the mortgage bank as a lender earns interest income during the tenure of the mortgage, avoiding loss of purchasing power of the loan amount caused by inflation. Therefore, in a mortgage relationship, all those elements are present that keeps it out of the ambit of riba. These elements are: 1. A mortgage is not a charity. Rather, it is a trading relationship between the borrower and the lender with full disclosure and free consent of both the parties. 2. There is no exploitative gain in a mortgage because it does not result in doubling and redoubling of one party's wealth at the expense of the other party. 3. A mortgage facilitates a borrower to build equity and wealth with borrowed money without arranging full upfront cost of the real estate property. 4. A mortgage enables a mortgage bank to earn a fair return on its excess capital through a loan instrument, creating more opportunities for future borrowers. These facts make it clear that there is no element of riba in a mortgage relationship. I conclude my monologue on the topic, Is Mortgage Forbidden in Islam, with a prayer that Allah Almighty may bless this effort and enable us to apply reason and seek guidance only from the glorious Quran in all matters of life. Please subscribe and share my channel for promoting teachings of glorious Quran to the mankind. May Allah reward your effort. Amen.